Hey Andrew, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Sophie. Good to be here.
You want to go first for the question?
So we've got to take questions out of there.
Yeah, we do.
Let me get one out. Oops. I think I'm going to put the box here.
Yes.
What's an ally?
An ally for me is somebody who speaks up when I feel threatened or when I feel put in a bad spot. So when I normally would have to put myself out there and say, hey, this is wrong, or you're hurting me, or whatever. And then an ally for me is somebody who does that for me without asking.
I think the first thing it starts to be an ally, you need to listen and you need to go and try and have a curiosity to understand better. And so good allies can act as mentors, coaches, facilitators, but also help educate, because educate colleagues on how to think about an inclusive environment.
Yeah, you can't do it without allies, because if you look around how many, in my case, transgender people there are, I wouldn't be able to count a dozen. So we definitely need allies. I'm happy to have a strong ally in you as well.
And also the other thing is allies will help build the bridges.
True.
Help create common ground in those bridges. So so it's a very important part of really building an inclusive culture in ING.
For sure. Next question.
Is it your turn?
I think it's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, this is a nice one.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever wanted to be somebody else?
No, is the honest answer. Very privileged and lucky to have been able to do the things I've been able to do. And I think I was very lucky that I feel like I had a family environment that helped do that. So the honest answer is no.
Oh, but it's so lovely to hear though. Because for me it would actually be yes, but it depends a bit on how you phrase the question. Like if somebody is like, do I need to point to a person, I want to be that person? Not necessarily, but obviously it would have been amazing if I was born as this woman, obviously. So I did have quite some jealousy as I just look around and see, it's a beautiful woman in all her femininity. I do get a bit jealous. And think of what could have been, but it's also a dangerous thought, right? So,
but haven't you? I mean, because obviously, it's always easy to look back, but don't you feel like you've had huge growth through the journey you've been on personally?
Oh, for sure.
Well? And obviously, one level we can also be someone else, but actually,
yeah, no, I'm in that sense, I am happy to be myself, and it's a journey that most cis people don't necessarily get to experience. Yeah. So in that sense, I am very happy. But there's always this little voice in the back of your mind.
Could I? Yeah.
If I get stuck in that kind of thoughts, then I just need to steer myself away and just enjoy where I am today and the possibilities that I do get.
All right,
okay. Next question.
My question. All right, what have we got? What's the most hilarious misconception about being LGBTQI+ that you've come across?
What we hear a lot is that LGBT pride is just extroverts. You have the camel parade, of course. These kind of more glamorous, let's say, parts of being LGBT. So that's obviously what people see in the media a lot. It's not just this pride. It's not just this basically drag, if you will. There's so much more to it than that.
I mean, as an ally, sort of for me, when I did some work in this at Lloyds Bank Group, where I ran all the inclusion diversity activity, I had some quite complicated issues I needed to look at in the rainbow community. Exactly what you said, because it had slightly at risk become a bit of a party club.
Yeah.
And to your point, it's far broader. And so I think that certainly one of my own learnings was making sure that you are genuinely sort of inclusive across all the communities, because it's such a diverse group. We have extroverts, introverts, so we have different personality types, and never mind other attributes. So.
Next question. I think
all right, my turn, is it? Oopsie, there we go. What's the scariest thing you've ever done to show your true self?
If I had to point a single moment, it would probably be coming out to my parents, even more so than coming out at ING, for example. Yeah, but my parents were very, very receptive, and they immediately said, "Well, this is a missing piece of the puzzle that fell in place." So they were really accepting and welcoming. So in the end, it wasn't need to be scary, but
but you still before you don't know until you have the conversation.
Indeed,
so.
indeed.
The scariest thing I've ever done to show my true self, for me in my national service, I was an officer, so you're also a role model. So you're a role model, and then you have on the one hand educate people and try and make sure you do the right thing. So that was a tension in that. And to be fair, the good news is that all worked, but certainly as a young person, and whilst even though as an officer you're still only 20 and you're leading people, so you're having to try and work out to try and make sure you just do the right thing. So you learn a lot doing that. All right, your turn, I think.
Yes. There are still some questions. What could ING do to make you bring your whole self to work? Aha, that's a tricky question for somebody on the board.
So look, I think what I learned early in my career is working in diverse cultures and it took a while to get to, was just be yourself.
Yeah.
Things that I could be better at is probably sharing a bit more earlier, because people normally, when they get to know me better, they go, okay, I now get what Andrew is.
For me, I guess it's the same. You know, especially in the beginning of my career, I wasn't my authentic self, so that obviously doesn't help. Now I am, and I do sometimes get a bit of pushback from individuals, but in general, I think ING and the culture in ING is very welcoming to indeed bring your whole self to work. And that takes constant effort from everybody in ING.
I also think that, I mean, it is really important for all of us to try and create as much equilibrium between you know, what's happening in our personal lives and what's happening professionally. And the more that you are able to be, in a way, more holistically yourself, the easier people see that at a subconscious level.
I think I agree. In general, I'm a very open person. If you ask me, you can always ask me anything. That's what I'm basically saying. If I don't want to give the answer, you also know. Maybe we should have another coffee after this where we can mentor each other, because I want to share a bit less, and maybe I can teach you to share a bit more. It's a nice one to close off.
So I think we've officially finished the box.
Yeah, let me just... No, nothing in there anymore. Perfect.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for a lovely conversation. And we're looking forward to that follow-up invite. And,
yeah, you and I have our session.
Yes,
sounds good.
Indeed.
Look forward to that.
Indeed.
Yeah, let's have that session. Get it in. Thank you very much.
Thank
you.